approaches and all of that stuff. But for me personally, from my training with my teacher, my own experiences, I feel that these kicks that I'm going to share today, there's more to it, but just a brief outline of these different types of kicks and how to use them or where to strike with them, etc. That again, more than one approach to it for sure. We're going to start with chin kicks. So my main target is like in a close stance, like this, or I'm like this, right? I'm going to strike the ankle, the calf, the knee, the thigh, and if it was an open stance, right, like this, the same thing. I'm going to attack the knee, the calf, the knee, and the thigh primarily. Okay, so in my approach, learning from my teacher and what I feel is suitable. To me, Shuai is a close quarter fighting system. Okay, and it doesn't mean you can't use long range kicking, and you should learn some, whether you want to integrate it into your Shuai or not. Learning how to do the kick will help you understand more how to counter those kicks with catches and with sweeps and with throws in general. But as the system goes itself, short range kicking, short to mid range kicking will be best. So we're going to look at some of these. So from this position here, and two, keeping the hands up to me is very important. We'll discuss too about why not dropping the hands and how to engage the core with the kick. But right now, in this function, we'll look at the kicks. I'm going to utilize the lower portion of my shin, the very front of my shin. I'm not going to utilize the side of my shin. I'm not going to kick this way unless more opportunity for me to damage the bone or break it. But I want to attack the outside edge of his lower leg, not the front. So when I do this kick, I'm going to swing the kick through, and I'm either going to kick to move his leg, or I'm going to kick to twist on his ankle. So I'm coming through in this regard, right? And if I wanted to put more power into it, I'm going to draw the elbow in so that I can engage the core muscles. So in this way, okay? So if he does the kick to me, okay? So it is a little bit on the painful side, but if you look at it from a self-defense situation, somebody is trying to instigate a situation with you and keep on in the leg and striking or go for a throw, it's a very effective movement and done the right way with power is very painful. So then we move up to the calf. So I'm going to actually cut into the calf with the shin kick. So I'm going to bring the shin over and in. So in this way. Okay? So if he does the kick to me, and he wants to keep his hands up, right? So again, I'm trying to engage the elbow to the core. You see? Okay? So I'm either using this to open him up to get him to move the leg, or again, I'm trying to kick into the calf, just the back pain, one way or the other. Okay. Then moving up to the knee. Now, practicing this, you want to, you don't want to put a lot of force in this when you're practicing in class. Remember, the knee moves, this way. It doesn't move side to side. We're trying to either damage the knee or destabilize it. When he kicks me in the knee, you think about it, if he can twist upon the knee, cause damage to the knee, hurt the person, you wouldn't do that in a competition, it's more for self-defense. So again, kicking in here into the leg or the knee. And then we have in the thigh. Now, if he's in a wide open stance, it's really easy to swing the legs up and to kick the legs, right? I may be trying to open him up because I want to go in and take the other leg, or I want to open him up enough that I could drive him back. So I'm either striking to cause pain, right, or I'm striking to move the leg. Either way, I don't want to come in a diagonal like this. I'm going to bring the leg up like I'm going to kick him in the groin, and then I'm going to turn it on the end as I turn the hip. Okay? If he kicks me in the inside of the leg, right? So for pain, pain compliance, right? It goes to kick the leg, and I'm not necessarily trying to move it. If it moves, that's great. It's a good way to diffuse the kick. If I really want to open him up, I'm going to kick and push. I'm trying to drive the leg out so I can open him up, either to stabilize him or to be able to hook the inside leg, or to get him moving so I can strike him. So again, he kicks and tries to push the leg open. Right? Easy for him to come in, bad spot. Same thing with me. Look, I don't need to create a lot of momentum to do this kick. The kick itself is painful. I don't need to do this from the back leg. I can do it from here, and a lot of times I'm going to kind of push with this foot to kind of give me some takeoff. Just like a bird on a branch, right? A bird pushes off to fly off. I'm going to do the same thing. Okay? Is that me? Okay. So, in certain situations, you're not always going to be in a close stance with a person. And don't feel like you need to, if he puts this leg forward, you feel like you got to be like this. If he switches the feet, you feel like you got to be like this. But my people, in his mind, he made it real clear that I need to be able to have technique no matter if it's a closed stance or an open stance. And if that person is used to fighting, let's say, with their left side forward, and you're used to fighting with your right side forward, and then you switch because in your mind it seems more logical to be in a closed stance, you're setting yourself up for failure. That's what he's used to fighting. That's what he's most comfortable with. So you want to be able to, whether you like to lead to the right, that's fine. But I want to be able to have technique for him to have an open stance or a closed stance with him. And the same thing, I'm going to go for the ankle. And again, if I kick down, I'm more like trying to sprain or damage his ankle. If I kick across or up, I'm trying to slide the foot across, right? I'm here and I'm trying to move it across so I can move in, right? So that's the kick to me, right? And once he keeps his hands up all the time, does it again, kick foot. Yeah. And then look, now into the calf. And again, I'm going to come across in a line and then I'm going to turn it. Okay? If I kick straight across, I'm going to try to move it. If I kick across and then down, I'm trying to cause some pain, right? So from here again, I'm not going to move I'm not going to kick off the back. I don't have to. I'm going to kick from here, and when I do it, I'm going to rotate in, and kick across and down. And it's purely to cause him pain. It does the same thing to me. Right? Again, try to use this portion of the shin primarily. And that's it. Okay. If I just want to move it, again, I'm going to kick in a straight line across, right? And I'm going to swing the leg. I want to try to move my leg so he can take my side or my flank or move into execute. Okay. Now we have going to the shin on the outside, or the thigh, excuse me. So I have several ways to do this kick. Again, I can do it off the back or off the knee. And, we have striking, we have like hacking into the leg, we have whipping the power into the it's faster. But also too, usually when I'm kicking this way, the outside of my lower shin is what's making contact. And if he raised his leg to defend it, he made contact with my thigh, I'm going to catch the weaker part of the lower part of my shin, easier to crack it or break it. If you've seen that happen in UFC fights, it happens. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens. And it's usually that bone on the side is weaker. It's flat like this. And if you're striking something from the front, it has a lot of strength. But if you hit it from the side, it's easier to break it. So I don't want to kick and keep kicking into the side of this bone and potentially break it myself or hit something with it. I want to try to use the front. So now you can kick up at a diagonal and be sure that you catch it. But again, different viewpoints, okay? So I'm going to try to bring the leg up and I'm going to turn it, right? So instead of my weight coming behind me like this, or even this way, right? It's a very powerful kick, whether you do it that way or not. I'm just sharing with you that I'm wanting to move me forward. I'm not just staying back at a distance, potentially just to kick them. So when I bring the leg up, I'm going to turn the hip over. So from here, I come up and I'm going to go down. Okay? So from here to down. Okay? So again, I'm not dropping the hands. I'm going to connect the elbow to the core muscles and make that contraction there. So from here. So as you bring the leg up, you're going to turn the hip at the last second so you can execute power from the core. Again. Okay. So the person kicking in the side of the leg, whether it's coming off the rear or the front, it's irrelevant. There's nerves in the side of the leg, it's painful. So in Chiao, been my teacher and his training and all of that, there's two ways for us to address this. If I'm going to seize it so that I can throw him or finish him in that way, or am I going to, or do I want to execute more striking? So if he goes to kick me in the leg, put power into this. So look, I'm going to turn the leg. As I turn the leg, I'm going to catch it on the front. Keep going. So I'm less likely to get those nerves that are more sensitive, right? And from here, from the twisting and the turning, it's easy for me to punch, right? I'm rotating my whole body that I can strike this kind of action, right? I'll turn you this. So at the same time, again, I'm just giving you a basic idea. This video is purely over just kicking, not really combining stuff together and things like that. But let's say he's going to do the kicking in the leg, and I'm going to try to seize it. So I'm still going to do the same thing, right? Keep kicking. If you practice this with a partner, you should be able to catch it, keep it you should be able to catch it most of the time. Okay? I'm going to let the leg, I'm going to let the leg take the brunt of the kick, and then I'm going to capture it. I'll pull it up, and then from here, there's all kind of kicking out this way, I can spin kicking this way, I can push him over, I can kick the leg out, all that kind of stuff we can do. So again, just to kind of sum that up, right? With kicks, I can do this to take the brunt of the power so I don't get kicked in the nerves, but also I can use it for striking, right? Boom, I can strike off of that rotation. Or I can capture the leg, right? I'll pull it up and capture it. So, more position kicks than that, just this video is just covering the fundamental idea of the kicks that we do. So then we have a front kick. So we do it from a closed stance first. So yes, you should be able to, I should be able to kick him like this, right? I'm not dropping my hand, and I should be able to do that. That's great for a competition or something like that, but the street application situation, there's too many other variables. I mean, you slip and you fall down and hit your head, or the guy takes the shot and pushes you back. And you could explain it all different kind of ways. But to me, I primarily want to use the front kick is like a very good primary kick. It's very hard to capture it. I can use it to close the distance. I can use it to, if he comes in on me, I can use it to maintain or move away from. So it's a very effective kick. And it's good, like say, if he wants to move in to hit me, it's easy to, it's a really great kick to be able to keep the person off of you, lessen the blows, or those kind of things. So there's kicking with the heel, the ball, or the flat of the foot. Now, we're going to cover a lot, but kicking in the knee, okay, I kick with the ball, kick with the heel, kick with the flat of the foot. All of that's good. Hard to practice in class, but you want to try to every now and then do it easy, do it slow. And whether it's closed like this or open, right? He switches, and I kick into the knee. It lends issues practicing the safety and stuff like that. But you can always practice kicking the thigh, right? I don't really try to use kick shields because kick shields are usually wide, and I want to try to hit the target itself, the size of the thigh is moving, and also being kicked in the leg, it lets you know what hurts, and in turn it makes it easier for you to know what part of the leg to hit. So we're going to try with the heel first. So he's going to kick me in the leg, he draws up his leg, and he's going to drive the heel in. Okay, so he's using a small spot of his heel. So this is a great way to destabilize the person, cause pain, maybe keep them away from you. So I bring it up, so there's a linear chamber, and then there's a circular chamber, right? So linear chamber, he's just drawing the leg up, he's pointing with his knee, so that when he executes this foot, he's using this point in which to aim, right? So from here, I kick into the thigh, right? Kicks into the thigh, and I kick into the thigh. And I either want to do one or two things. I either want to be able to practice the kick and plant forward, or I want to be able to kick and chamber and set it back down and work on my balance. The problem with a lot of people when they do kicking off the back and they practice, they come to the kick and they put their leg back. You wouldn't want to do that in an altercation, right? I wouldn't want to do that in a competition. So I see the guy that does this stuff, he kicks, he puts the leg back. It may get me that one time, but then the next time he does it, I'm going to try to move it on. Switch people. So he goes for the kick, and look, the higher up you aim, the more opportunity that you're going to have to kick something. If you aim low, it's a good possibility he's going to move it or it's going to slide off. So aim high so that you have more options. Great. And then for my open stance, nothing's changed. I don't have to switch really. Okay, switch back. And then the ball of the foot, right? The ball of the foot, I'm using this kind of more of into the thigh to jam it, right? Use it this way. He's trying to strike and he's trying to lean that weight forward and push into the leg, right? And this is me. All this push. Right? So try not to overextend into it, but things like, it's almost like you're punching, right? Punch it. And switch to his feet again. Nothing's changed. I don't have to switch or anything like that. If I practice this enough with an open stance, I shouldn't have an issue. And then there's stamping with the whole foot. Again, raise the leg up and I'm just going to stamp it. Okay? This is a good all-around move. Take the weight off. I can put a lot of force into it. We have a wider area and we have to get to the target. But remember, how high, higher I get the knee up, the more time I have to aim it. Again, open stance. Okay. And into the torso. I can chamber this kick, but I can also just swing the kick up, right? So I'm here and I'm using the ball of the foot and think of it like you're punching the guy in the gut. You punch this with it, right? Punch with it. Bladder, stomach, diaphragm. Now, there's pushing too, right? So, like with this kick, like with the jab of this, I don't really even need to try to contract my abdominals or anything like that. If I want to use it as a push, so really draw the arms back, right? Or they really lean the body. If I just draw my elbows to my side and contract, I can push with it. And look, my whole body my whole body's ready to move forward, right? I contract everything. I'm ready to expand. Even though I exploded with this push, I can still move the body forward. But the straight-legged punch kick is great. You got somebody who wants to mess with you, or they're in your personal space. I'm not talking about a competition, but somebody in a street situation, we just push them back. We do the same thing into the knee. Okay. While we're still on this subject, there's the side kick and the cross kick. But we've been practicing a linear chamber. Now we're going to make a circle with it. Again, I don't need to lean. I don't need to lean way back here. Leaning, in reality, like say if I were to do a side kick and I lean back, and Jonathan goes to grab my leg, it's easy for me. And I put myself in this spot, right? But if I do it from here, my weight stays over me. It's easy for me to hit Jonathan. It's easy for me to drive my weight back down. So, for short range fighting, which is in essence what Chiao does, is short range fighting, I really want to try to keep me over me. I don't need to do spinning kicks. It's not necessary. I don't need to do these kind of kicks. I can do them, and I should for sundown, for competition purposes, show my skills.